In Haines, Alaska, Parker Schnabel, a young gold miner, was born to his grandfather, John Schnabel. John Schnabel was the miner's grandfather. His experience taught him the importance of putting in a lot of effort and the results of each gold nugget that he extracted from the ground. By the time he was 16 years old, he had taken over the family firm and started making deals with prominent figures in the mining industry, such as Tony Beets. He also had the ability to get land leases and demonstrate his capabilities on national television. He had amassed more than $13 million worth of gold by the time he was 25 years old. On the other hand, the high expense of pursuing gold was accompanied by the costs that were associated with operating a mining operation. The equipment that his team had to transport was so expensive that it might be compared to the price of some people's homes. These machines required continual maintenance, operators with specialized skills, and a substantial amount of gasoline. Another mound of cash was labor of some kind. When he made the decision to invest in Dominion Creek, he put $15 million into that enterprise in the hopes of receiving a return that would propel his career to the next level. The celebrity that comes with being on reality television comes with a number of benefits, including admirers, public recognition, and a consistent revenue stream that is not necessarily dependent on the price of gold. On the other hand, it comes with a spotlight that has the potential to make every failure feel a little bit more painful. As a result of Parker's investigation, he discovered that when the cameras are on, people are waiting for errors, which are what keep reality television going. However, despite the fact that his crew toiled relentlessly and put in 75-hour weeks, the weight of leadership was firmly on his shoulders. It wasn't simply that they were employees, they were also the ones who knew him when he was at his worst and in the gutter. Not only did he owe them a wage, but he also believed that this business could continue to function. His personal life was falling apart in addition to the strain that was being placed on his finances. It was during the 7th season of Gold Rush that viewers had the opportunity to become acquainted with Ashley Ewell, an Australian veterinarian nurse. He had been in a relationship with her. The termination of their relationship in the year 2017 left him obviously upset, and the fact that he was emotionally vulnerable in that way does not make mining any different. In the moment that Parker disclosed that he had declared bankruptcy, he accepted defeat, so revealing a level of betrayal that extended beyond monetary considerations.
Walk away.
Yeah, walk away.
I'm gonna go get a thermos.
Is there some gold here?
Yeah, we're gonna waste.
The stark fact that gold mining is unpredictable, hazardous, and may even be downright unpleasant is the subject of this narrative. The devastating disappointment that comes when you pour all you have, time, money, and sweat, into the land and the earth decides to keep its treasures buried is there. The joy of a good haul and the exhilaration of seeing numbers go up are only two examples of the emotions that can be experienced. In his time working in the mining sector, gold miner Parker Schnabel has seen a great deal of failure and difficulty in terms of his finances. In the gold mining industry, the highs are powerful, but the lows cause you to rethink everything, from the decisions you make in business to the relationships you have. Although fame can magnify achievement, it also has the potential to make defeat more isolated. Downsizing is not just about cutting costs. It is also about telling individuals who have put their trust in you that they do not have a job anymore. Parker may have to start making difficult decisions regarding his finances in order to do this. Dominion Creek presents yet another obstacle, which is the looming question of whether or not he will be able to keep things functional. In addition to the need for additional people, fuel, and equipment, the cash flow is beginning to dry up. There have been times when Parker's presence on social media has been a double-edged sword. While social media platforms like as Instagram and Twitter allow him to maintain his connection with his supporters, they also provide the general public with a front-row seat to his shortcomings. It may be challenging to deal with this situation when he is attempting to maintain a positive mood for himself and his staff. The bond that Parker has with his family, and in especially the teachings that he has learned from his grandfather, John Schnabel, is at the center of everything that is going on here.
Oh, you're gonna wheel me up?
Yeah.
Okay, anytime.
Parker has been able to persevere despite the fact that everything else appeared to be coming apart, because he learnt from him the qualities of hard work, tenacity, and perseverance. However, even these lessons do not necessarily make it easier to accept the hard realities of failure after they have been experienced. The mining of gold is not just about gold. It is also about hope, danger, and the belief that there is something greater waiting for you if you dig deep enough. In spite of the fact that Parker has spent the most of his life believing in that concept, he is suddenly confronted with the opposite side of the coin. When there is no gold at the bottom of the pan, what are the things that happen? Parker is not the first miner to suffer a significant loss, and it is highly unlikely that he will be the last. The fact that Parker is accomplishing all of this while millions of people are watching is what makes him stand out from the crowd. All of the mistakes and failures that have occurred are now available for the general world to view. It won't be simple for Parker to take the next step. It is difficult to make a living in mining, and the financial losses he has sustained are significant. However, it is possible that there is something to be said about the manner in which he continues to get up, even when circumstances appear to be dire. When it comes to gold mining, tenacity is just as important as luck, and Parker possesses both of these qualities in plenty. Is that sufficient to have a positive impact on the situation? Time is the only thing that can tell. A Dutch gold miner, upon discovering that his stationary dredges were not going to get him to his aim, made the decision to concentrate on an abandoned trommel machine that had been constructed by a renegade miner several decades earlier. This is the story that centers around the Dutch gold miner. As opposed to transporting material to a predetermined spot, the trommel provided mobility and the freedom to move with pay soil. In order to return to base camp, the miner was required to disassemble and transport the trommel, which resulted in a daily expenditure of more than $60,000. The steep terrain and boat voyage made the journey challenging. One truck had a damaged tire and twisted rim, but the miner was unharmed. The crew worked hard to disassemble and transfer the trommel, moving the 20-ton drum onto a military tank transporter despite adverse conditions. During the trip, the truck got bogged in the mud and needed a backhoe loader to release it. The mining boss was pleased when they returned the trommel to camp after 3 days. The mobile trommel appeared efficient and flexible since it could handle massive amounts of material faster than anything else the digger had employed. As gold prices were at an all-time high, the miner relied on the trommel. The mining operator always thought long-term and took risks, and the trommel was a future investment. It helped him keep his business going despite all the challenges.
Pipeline to see what happens.
The mining veteran had previously spent over $1 million on a custom excavator to dig 9,000 ounces of gold. His prosperity came from smart investments and taking chances that others wouldn't. The Dutch miner was known for his tough management style, which was not always well appreciated. After throwing gasoline into a dredge pond and lighting it on fire, he was criticized and fined for environmental infractions. His harsh treatment of employees, especially during failures, often irritated them. Safety and the insistence on correcting mistakes created a high-pressure workplace. Living on a reality show made things harder. The prospector was scrutinized by the public because his every move was broadcast. The risk-taker knew his actions would have consequences, whether they violated environmental laws or mistreated his crew. However, he remained true to himself, took risks, took responsibility for his actions, and handled criticism. In the mining veteran's ongoing struggle to remain gold game leader, the trommel was just another episode. The risk-taker had always gambled, and this time it paid off. Mechanical problems and tough terrain plagued Yukon mining. However, his determination was unwavering. It was a gamble, but the trommel helped him meet his output goals and reaffirm his purpose in life.
In the high-stakes world of gold mining, Parker Schnabel's relentless quest for success has taken him down an adventurous road this season on Gold Rush. In the spirit of Wayne Gretzky, who once said, "You miss 100% of the shots you don't take," Parker rolled the dice by spending a whopping $15 million in the Dominion Creek claim. This courageous move, however, has proven to be a risky trip. The journey to Schnabel's ambitious target of 5,000 ounces has been everything but straightforward. With a new wash plant added to the mix, the challenges have grown, pushing both his resources and team to the limit. The questions are being raised about Parker Schnabel's decisions, and the fans are awaiting answers. Parker Schnabel, the ambitious gold miner, having accomplished the notable milestone of 4,400 ounces, is gearing up to unveil a revolutionary addition to his operation. This carefully planned and eagerly anticipated move is strategically crafted to exceed the remarkable goal of 5,000 ounces. Viewers, who have been anxiously awaiting a sneak peek at Parker's latest wash plant, can finally see their desires realized in this new and thrilling installment. The anticipation is over, and Parker Schnabel has revealed his new wash plant. The new plant, known as Roxanne, takes the front stage in Parker Schnabel's quest for gold, serving as the focal point of his exciting adventure. Parker intentionally places Roxanne at the forefront of his persistent hunt for gold, driven by a firm desire to maximize efficiency and productivity. This cutting-edge wash plant represents more than simply a tool in Parker's inventory. It is a critical component that might potentially change the course of his gold mining venture. This cutting-edge wash plant represents not only an incredible technological improvement, but also the result of extensive research and careful consideration. Parker's quest for Roxanne began in the 5th season of Gold Rush Parker's Trail in New Zealand, when he investigated numerous wash plant alternatives, examining each one with extreme diligence. The approach included evaluating new ideas and even visiting successful miners, such as Ian White, demonstrating Parker's dedication to finding the best fit for his operations. The 3rd episode of this journey featured a floating machine wash plant, which was considered the most technologically advanced in the world at the time. Despite its advanced technology and efficiency, the hard terrain near Fairbanks made it unsuitable. Parker remained resilient, examining several solutions until he decided to create his own wash plant. This marked the start of a 2-year process in which Parker and his team worked relentlessly to bring Roxanne to life. The years of planning and development demonstrate Parker Schnabel's commitment to pushing limits and responding to the changing demands of the gold mining business. Roxanne exhibits cutting-edge technologies, revolutionizing the gold mining scene. With cutting-edge features, this wash facility represents a new era of efficiency and precision in Parker Schnabel's pursuit of gold. Roxanne's creative design and enhanced capabilities demonstrate a commitment to pushing the boundaries and embracing cutting-edge mining technologies. As we dig into the intricate details of Roxanne, the spotlight shines on the technological marvel that is set to revolutionize Parker's gold mining journey in unprecedented ways. Before getting into further details, let's have a look at the working of the wash plant. A wash plant is actually an important equipment in gold mining that extracts and concentrates precious minerals, primarily gold, from alluvial deposits. Its major function is to extract these valuable minerals from the surrounding sediment, gravel, and rocks using a combination of water, gravity, and mechanical methods. First, raw material, a mixture of dirt, gravel, and rocks, is fed into the wash plant. This can be achieved using a variety of methods, such as conveyor belts or loaders, to ensure a consistent flow of material for processing. As the raw material reaches the wash plant, it passes through a critical sorting and classification process. Screens or grizzly bars are used to properly categorize particles based on their size. This step is necessary to prepare the material for further processing. The wash plant's ability lies in its capacity to break down raw materials through a washing process. Water, a key component in this step, is used to break down the substance into smaller particles. This procedure is critical in separating precious minerals, particularly gold, from the surrounding rock and dirt. Following the washing process, the material is transferred to sluice boxes or jigs, which are critical components of the wash plant's operations. Sluice boxes use the flow of water to catch and concentrate larger particles, such as gold, allowing lighter elements to wash away. Alternatively, jigs involve pulsating water flow to separate particles according to density. Gold miners use different types of wash plants to extract gold from dirt. These wash plants vary in size and complexity based on the specific needs of the mining operation. The choice of a wash plant depends on factors like the size of the mining project, the characteristics of the gold deposit, and the availability of resources. In shows like Gold Rush, which depict the reality of gold mining, the wash plant becomes a central element. It showcases the miners' strategic decisions and their investment in advanced technology. For instance, Parker Schnabel, a prominent figure in the series, is known for seeking cutting-edge wash plant solutions. This reflects a dedication to improving operational efficiency and maximizing the recovery of gold in his mining activities. But don't get your hopes high. During the inaugural run of Roxanne, Parker Schnabel's new wash plant, the crew encountered unforeseen issues that necessitated swift amendments. As the plant processed its initial load of pay dirt, issues like electrical problems and water hose malfunctions arose. Parker remained calm and collected, showcasing his ability to address challenges as they happened. The debut of Roxanne became a testing ground for the team's adaptability and problem-solving skills. Despite the setbacks, Parker's leadership shone through, emphasizing the importance of making real-time adjustments for optimal performance. Refining how Roxanne operates became a crucial part of the plan, highlighting the importance of making sure the wash plant performs at its best. The team, persistent in their efforts to fine-tune, expertly navigated the challenging terrain of gold mining, making smart adjustments along the way. Their unwavering commitment to this fine-tuning process shows how determined Parker Schnabel is to get the most gold with the least effort. This commitment sets the stage for a season filled with exceptional achievements and success in the world of the gold rush. We can look forward to an exciting journey ahead as we watch the team continually strive for excellence and overcome the challenges they face in their quest for gold. The unfolding story promises not just suspense and drama, but also valuable insights into the intricate world of gold mining. The introduction of Roxanne, the latest wash plant, turned out to be a game-changer for Parker Schnabel and his crew, pulling in an impressive 56.85 ounces of gold during its inaugural run with pay dirt. This stellar debut set the tone for a promising start to the season, and Parker's carefully thought-out strategy, coupled with Roxanne's efficiency, hints at the potential for record-breaking gold yields as the season unfolds. The remarkable results from Roxanne's first operation are just the starting point, promising viewers an engaging and exciting season ahead. Parker Schnabel's unwavering determination and willingness to push boundaries
It may be a broken piece of the ancient ad, a type of cutting tool. This result is noteworthy because it agrees with a recent magnetometry research conducted by the team, which found a significant metallic anomaly in the same area, the same site where the survey was done. Our interest in further investigation of that area is piqued by the discovery of this tool in a place that was previously believed to be uninhabited. The team plans to first obtain a permit to excavate before speaking with various experts in order to determine the significance of this discovery. The secrets surrounding Oak Island keep getting more complicated as the show follows the journey of full-time treasure hunters through each new season. However, you might get the same results with your own gear. Their discoveries with metal detectors open up hitherto unfathomable vistas for historical inquiry. Always make sure to get permission before hunting anywhere, whether it's on someone else's land or a public space. The team of The Curse of Oak Island found some scientific proof that suggests it's possible the money pit holds a sizable amount of silver. They also found a patch of cement that had traces of gold and other metals, which made them think that the most rare metal in the world, osmium, would be buried somewhere in the ethereal depths of Oak Island. There is an island called Oak Island in the Canadian province of Nova Scotia. The two brothers Marty and Rick Legina have, for all intents and purposes, dedicated their entire lives to solving Oak Island's enigma and learning its closely guarded secrets, while harboring the hope of unearthing hidden gold on the island. Despite the fact that they had previously spent many years trying very hard to uncover the island's secrets, but making very little headway in their attempts, it appears that their most recent treasure hunting expedition has really taken a fruitful turn. On Oak Island, the Legina brothers have made a number of important discoveries recently. Some claim that these discoveries have made it possible to access the hidden wealth on Oak Island. This archaeological gem was found thanks to the use of ground-penetrating radar. It was initially thought to be a crossbow bolt, but a specialist in ancient antiquities thinks it might have been a javelin, a type of weapon used by the Romans more than 2,000 years ago. The team finds a metal object that appears to be what they have been looking for since the first episode of the show in the second episode of the 9th season. Additional inspection reveals that the piece only contains a modest amount of gold in its entirety. The secrets surrounding Oak Island keep getting more complicated as the show follows the journey of full-time treasure hunters through each new season. However, you might get the same results with your own gear. Their discoveries with metal detectors open up hitherto unfathomable vistas for historical inquiry. Always make sure to get permission before hunting anywhere, whether it's on someone else's land or a public space. As the team continued their journey through Portugal, they turned their attention to the country and the Templar Knights, while looking for old structures and researching relics that might be connected to Oak Island. Together with Oak Island theorist Corjan Mall and a few local historians, Rick and Alex Legina, Doug Crowell, and Peter Fornetti visited a number of ancient sites in Portugal. They were led to 3 distinct locations, each of which displayed mounting proof that Oak Island's history is connected in some way to that of Portugal and the Templars. In Tomar, Portugal, there is a church and Templar fortress called Convento de Cristo. It was built in the 12th century. To start their investigation, the group was brought there. Corjan was particularly intrigued by the aqueduct's drainage system, which he thought had served as inspiration for whoever created the Smith's Cove finger drains. The aqueduct drainage system was what captivated Corjan the most out of all the amazing elements that were packed into this massive structure. This link might have seemed a little tenuous, but Corjan had more details. The original church gate, now faded, bore an engraving of a cross surrounded by 4 dots. The sign found on the HO stone on Oak Island had an engraving that matched this one exactly. The HO stone was a fragment of a rock discovered on Oak Island. The boulder is thought to have formerly indicated the location of a treasure, but an accident in 1921 reportedly destroyed it. The lads also discovered another O-shaped sign with a dot in the middle, which is also depicted on the HO stone during the previous week. The group then traveled to a military history museum in Lisbon. They had replicas of the 2 little cannonballs that had been found on Oak Island, and they intended to use the museum's armory to see if they could match the cannonballs to one of the cannons there. The fact that 2 museum employees immediately confirmed that the 2 cannonballs were of Portuguese origin wasn't a surprise to the boys, because they had already heard from a chemist in a previous episode that the cannonball's composition indicated a Portuguese origin. Alex loaded the cannon with the ball once the guys had discovered the right kind of cannon in order to make sure they had the right kind of weapon. The cannon, which was first used in the 14th or 15th century, was often mounted on a ship's deck. The experts at the museum, however, claimed that the gun could be easily taken out of the ship and brought to an island. Have you already subscribed? Do this right away to learn more exciting updates on fresh discoveries made on Oak Island. Given the ongoing